Hi guys, it's Kimberly. Welcome back to the Illumin Guru. And it is June 11th. I said I wouldn't be posting another video for June, but here I am. Really inspired to post this. There are messages that I feel I need to express. And anyhow, I'm busy creating and getting ready and incubating this new project and this new venture that will be announced to you at the end of the month. But in the meantime, I'm still working very heavily in sessions with my clients, and I'm seeing different themes come through that I feel like are affecting the collective right now. I'm feeling them myself, and I'm having some channeled messages come through. So I just figured this is the best time to address it while we're in it, so I can give you some tools to help you through it and understand it better. Again, these messages won't resonate all the way for all of you, but if you're watching this video, there's probably a reason why. And if something I say resonates with you, then that's great. Use that as a tool to help you in your healing and learning and growth. If it doesn't resonate with you, then just move on to the next healer, next video, and we'll see you again soon, hopefully. I do have to say that in the June forecast that I posted a complete reading with tarot cards and the energies for the month. So if you haven't watched that, please do. I followed up with that with a written forecast, which I emailed out to my email subscribers. And so if you're not on my email list, you can check out that email. I reposted it on the Facebook page. So that's facebook.com/theilluminguru. And that again has more in depth the themes, more channeled messages for this month. It also goes into energies and sort of patterns and what we're going to be dealing with and how to deal with better the challenges that we'll see between now and the summer solstice, between the summer solstice and the eclipses, and between the eclipses and the end of summer and all the way to the end of the year. So that's a really interesting and in-depth forecast. And so I want you guys to read that if you haven't already. I think it would be helpful for some of you. And it's uplifting, okay? There are definitely challenges that are addressed, but it also is a very uplifting message for the collective. If you would like to subscribe to my newsletter, if you want to get those emails, you can sign up on the website, theilluminguru.com. Just scroll to the bottom and fill out the quick form, and I'll add you to the list. So, cosmic energies, planetary aspects are affecting us right now as we head into this new moon in Gemini, which is going to be right around June 13th. So we're just a couple days away. So here's the thing. Astrologically, I could go on, but I'm not an astrologer, and there are other people that are saying it in beautiful ways. Two that I really love, that I repost their videos, are Marla Kelly of Twinstrology and also Sonia Francis of theastrologercoach.com. So check out their New Moon in Gemini videos so that you can understand better the planetary aspects. Nothing that either one of them says contradicts the other. Like, their messages are very similar, just delivered in a much more it's like packaged up and delivered in a different language via both of them. But you'll find them complementary, so it might even help to watch them both. And that'll give you a lot of insight on why we're being affected in certain ways. I want to speak more to not the overarching themes for the month, but what we're going through right now in this energy pattern, in these shifts right now. What's over us? What are we struggling with? The reason why I'm going to do that is because I feel like some of you are struggling. And so I'm going to speak to the Divine Feminine first, not using any cards. This is more of like a sort of teaching lesson, channeled message, and I know that some of you need it. So some of what's been happening over the past couple weeks, and definitely strongly into this week, is there's definitely been energy dips, high, low, up, down, motivated, not motivated. I've even felt it in this new project that I'm nurturing. As much as I love it, and it completely inspires me, and it's like it invigorates me, there have been days where I just don't have the energy to dedicate to it. And when that happens, you just have to be okay with it. You just have to be okay with, I'm not going to get to that today. And relaxing into the need for rest, or to take a pause, or to just, veg out, because that's kind of what we're needing when we ride those lows. And that's what you need to do, right? So it's like a surfboard analogy. They're saying ride the wave, right? Like ride the lows, ride the dips, because before you know it, you'll be inspired again. And before you know it, you'll work on that thing that you've been meaning to work on. It may happen a little more slowly than you were planning, but it will happen. For some of you, it's just not time to be pushing things forward right now, okay? So if you're mad at yourself because you're not pushing that thing forward, don't be. Just know that by the end of the summer, everything's going to push. Energies are going to shift and everything's going to push through. But right now, you may be feeling exhausted. You may be feeling very much like a whole nother set of ascension symptoms. And this is like pretty extreme. I'm finding that the shift that we're going through is like kicking it up a notch. So if you took ascension symptoms, right? Like where we're, awakening, our awareness is expanding. We're wanting to be healthier. We're wanting to be more in alignment with what's healthy for us. We are exploring our gifts and finding our purpose. All of those things are like, ascension related. But this is like almost like taking all those things and just kicking it up a notch. So that's what's happening right now. So what's happening is that there's a contrast that's taking place. And the contrast may be very, very, very stark for some of you, especially for the divine feminine. There's a contrast of what you don't want, what no longer resonates, what feels stagnant, what no longer makes you feel alive, what doesn't appeal to you anymore, what has lost its luster to you. And these are things that you may have loved, been attracted to, appealed by, enraptured with, excited about, and completely engaged with, even just as much as like a month ago. Okay, or as little as a month ago. These are things that maybe you liked or loved your whole life that don't fit anymore. But like I said, it could be just things that you started like a month ago, and now you're like, I don't want to do that. That's not the direction I want to go in. And I think a lot of you are beating yourselves up for this. And I want you to know that your divine truth is coming through even louder right now. And there's almost a feeling of nothing exciting us. Okay, some of you are feeling it at that level. Not everyone, but some. Nothing's exciting you. Nothing's moving the needle. The sense of purpose feels really, really foggy. This is another layer of an ego death that we're experiencing, especially the divine feminine. What was a few months ago is not the same things that are pulling us in right now. In fact, new ideas are coming in. And some of you are finding those new ideas, or let's just say everyone's kind of finding those new ideas through the contrast of what you don't want. Through this feeling like, ugh, I don't want to be in the city. I want to be in nature. I don't want to be by the ocean. I want to be in the country. I don't want to work in the corporate world. I want to work in a more, autonomous setting. I don't want to be around toxic energies anymore. I need to be around healthier people. So that's what's happening, okay? But it's happening like with great magnitude, I can say. It's very powerful the way it's happening. But in the meantime, in the interim, some of those things that we used to like, that we used to really, they may have been attached to a direction that we were taking or that we thought we were taking. They may be attached to things that we like to do. They may be attached to our work environment, our home environment, where we live geographically. And those things are changing. I said big changes, and those things are changing. The reason why they're changing is because they were attached to your old ego identity. Now, I know what you're saying. You're saying, I've been on this journey for so long. My ego's already stripped away. I've already gone through the ego death. No, 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 no. So have I, but guess what? This is happening for me too. So it's another layer, okay? It's another layer of this. Like we're becoming even more organically who we are at the divine level. It's almost like when we emerge from this contrast of, the things that we used to love no longer pleasing us, the things that we used to resonate with us no longer resonating, we are finding ourselves like almost like it's like a vortex, like where you're like whoosh, you just slip into alignment with your divine truth. And this, like I said, it could be any number of things, where you are in the world, geographically, what's calling to you. Ask yourself, what's calling to me? Is it time for a move? Do I need to move from the city to the country? Do I need to move from the beach to the city? Where do I need to be to liven my energy, to make me feel at home, to connect with my gifts, to connect with nature more, perhaps? I mean, that's a huge one right now. I'm definitely feeling that. Even though I live by the beach, there's a huge pull for me to be, and there's a lot of nature and natural settings around here, but there's a huge pull to the woods, to the forest, to the country. There's you should ask yourself, what is it that is, disappointing me about not liking those old things anymore? Like, why do I feel disappointed about that? Does that feel like a letdown? Does that feel like confusing? Because again, those things were probably attached to an identity at some level. And so when you don't have them, you're like, okay, so who am I? And now what? And I thought I was going in this direction. And how am I going over here? And a lot of this too is so that we just are able to drop all of the preconceived notions. We can strip down the ego identity. We can dissolve the societal programming of what we're supposed to do or what others want us to do. It's okay to change direction. It's okay, especially in this process, to, change things up as you navigate, as you move along. Things are not going to stay the same. They're just not. The feminine especially is yearning for deeper truth in her life. And the way she's being shown what that is by seeing what isn't anymore. And I feel like it may be causing feelings of emptiness, purposelessness. That is an ego death. Okay? That's an ego death when you feel like that. It may feel like the rug got pulled out from underneath you. It may feel like you just don't have a rhyme or reason or a sense of belonging. But they're showing me like a bigger perspective where rising above that, as we emerge out of that, where our divine compass, our true direction emerges, right? Where we don't need to attach ourselves to labels, where we're just following the impulse, where we're just following the calling, where we're just following our truth. That's where, things are going to be more harmonious for us. And also that's where we're going to find connection with others in a more harmonious way. So what does that mean? So that means that when we feel discontent, because that word discontent keeps coming up. All of my Divine Feminine sessions have had that card or have had that word, or there's a feeling of discontentment. And the reason why is because the old stuff is falling away now. And this may come in sudden epiphanies. This may come in sudden, like, oh my gosh, I can't do that anymore. I can't even bring myself to do that or to go there or to engage in that activity or to be with that person. And you just have to honor that and don't try to find the way. Like, that's the thing. Usually after those things fall away, then we go, well, then who am I? Then who do I want to be with? Then what do I want to do? Then what should I be doing? And the worst thing in the world for most of us is to feel like that nothingness or that emptiness or to lose our identity. And we're like, shit, who am I now? I used to be city. Now I'm country. I used to be, in into this type of music. Now I'm into that type of music. I used to like this type of food, but now I can't stand that type of food. I used to like these type of people, and now I can't. I can't even be around those people. So that contrast is almost creating a separation mentality within us, right? But I promise you, it's birthing something bigger than us, and it's bringing us into unity consciousness. And I know that sounds like, okay, how is that possible? We're feeling separate from everything. We're feeling like, but that's just contrast. That's just so you can birth new desires. That's just so you can hear what's really inside of you. It's time for a check-in. Like, it's time for a check-in. What you were a year ago in this journey is not the same as now. What you were 2 months ago, even a month ago, is not the same as right now. Things are shifting again. And with that comes needed adjustments. And the needed adjustments are saying further purging and letting go of toxicity. This could be coming in. I know, like, I stopped drinking coffee. I've been a lifelong coffee drinker, and I cannot even sip a cup of coffee right now. And it's been like this for probably over the past like month or two. So coffee, alcohol, I'm not able to even have a sip of alcohol. Nothing's resonating for me at any level. My diet has gone from vegan and healthy and organic to even more so, like even more greens and more healthier elixirs and juices and homeopathic ways of healing and healthy high vibrational water. And so this is what is happening. It's like, like I had always been healthy. I had always eaten well. And then I went organic, and then I went vegan. And it's like, okay, you say like, well, that's it. I already did it. Nope. See, it's happened now. It's like another layer. Now I'm letting go of coffee. Now I'm letting go of alcohol altogether. Not that I drink alcohol so much, but every now and then, it's nice to have a glass of wine. That's nothing. I don't even want my daily coffee. None of it. So there's an up leveling, and we're going on that up leveling, and everything's changing. So if it's happening at a food level, if it's happening at an interpersonal level, like I don't want to be around toxic energies, those people that I used to, hang out with or connect with in the community, like they're just, I'm not feeling that pull anymore. That's okay. That's okay. Don't go there if you're not feeling the pull. Doesn't mean they're bad. It just means that that's not where you want to put your energy right now. And you're needing to call in probably new people and better get in better alignment within yourself, so you can call in all of those things that are in perfect alignment for you. So the other thing I'm hearing is like about the hermiting and the loneliness and the solitude. And solitude, can be very creative. It can also be very, 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 very isolating. And I think that what I want to say is like the isolation and this feeling lonely, this too shall pass. I really don't feel like, for a lot of you that I've heard from, I don't feel like it's a product of, looking for love outside of yourself. Although some of us have that going on, right? We're needing to turn up the self-love. But a lot of you that I've talked with recently, it's just like a general feeling of like, like emptiness, loneliness. And remember, like, you're letting go of labels. You're letting go of who you thought you were. You're letting go of how you used to eat, who you used to hang out with. Like, everything's changing. This is like new earth, major ascension kick in the crotch, like this is like, it's going up a notch. And so if you felt it a little before, because I think I felt it all along the way, but this is a major boost. It's like the rocket going, and so we're being asked to ride that wave. It's kind of like you're just going to have to get into it, get into that feeling of, I don't know who I am. It's okay. Stop searching for who you are. Stop searching for another label. Stop searching for another way to be productive, to make yourself worthy or valid. This is a time to just be present with ourselves, to not know, to not know. And then when the clarity comes and it's time to emerge or reemerge, and you're moving much more in alignment with your truth, or you're making choices or decisions based, like, really where there's no other option. It just feels like there's no other option. Like for me, like I wouldn't even entertain having coffee right now, right? This is a silly example, but it's the same thing. It's like there's no option for me. That's it. It's no coffee. I don't want it. I just don't want it. I'm not doing it. It's getting to be that way in different areas of my life, and I know that for many of you, it's like you can't even force yourself to go there, right? You can't force yourself to go hang out with those old friends or the old people. And now this is the true rebirthing. This is the rebirthing. But the interim can feel scary. I mean, it can feel numb. It can feel like really scary. So if any of you guys need support around that, I'm going to try to hold a support group call sometime this week, because I just feel like it's happening across the board. So let's see. Let me look at the calendar here. You know what I'll do is I think I'm going to hold a support group call on Sunday. Okay. So let's say Sunday's Father's Day, but let's say Sunday late afternoon, evening, Eastern Standard Time. So I'm just making this up right now. But if you want the details, you can email me and I will send you the info to call in for the free support group call. So that'll be Sunday, June 17th, I believe. And that'll be in the early evening, like late afternoon, Eastern Standard Time. Okay, and I'll get you times and links and all of that. So I'm really feeling like that's necessary for a lot of you to be able to connect right now and have support, because this is losing another layer of your ego identity is not a fun thing. It's like saying, it's like going to the airport and they're like, okay, can we have your passport, or can we see your license please, or passport please? And you're like, yeah, I don't have it. Okay, well, we're not letting you through. Well, who are you? What's your name? Yeah, I don't know. Okay. All right, ma'am, you need to turn around and go back through those doors because we're not letting you through. And so you want to make sure that you're not rejecting yourself in that same way. Okay? Like you want to make sure that that's not happening from within you. You have to be in full allowance and full acceptance of this transformation. Because I promise you that a lot of you have already been moving along on your mission, and you've already made it pretty far in your healing journey. And you're going to pick right back up, like with momentum and forward movement, but it's going to be more in alignment. You're going to have even more clarity. You're going to have even more alignment with source, with yourself, with your divinity, with your worth, with where you want to be in the world, with what you like and what you want to be doing on your mission. That's the other thing too. Even if you started your mission, another layer of clarity is going to come through for that mission, for those creative projects, for those things that you're wanting to do. And let it morph and change. So the whole message here is don't fight it. I know it can feel very scary and lonely, upsetting to lose our identity at yet another level. But let it reassure you, right? Ask yourself. For some of you, it may feel that extreme. For others of you, it will feel like, oh, yeah, now I know totally what I do want. Oh, now I know. Now I can see the path. Now I feel the direction. Oh, I have this other idea that's going to help this along that I didn't have a month ago. So for others of you, it'll be more like you can apply it right away. Like you get the clarity right away. But for some of you, it's going to take a little while to come through this. And so either way, I just want you to know that this is normal in this process. Everyone's kind of going through this at some level. As I said in my forecast, the feminine is also going through, you know, there's some ego resistance. Okay, so in my written forecast, I talked about that. And that's not for everyone. I feel like some of you are experiencing what I just spoke of, like this ego death. And some of you are kind of like in a resistant energy, like not wanting to see, not wanting to do deeper work, not wanting to shift out of labels or out of separation consciousness. You're feeling very separate from others. You're feeling very much like you might be feeling judgmental or reactive. And we're going to see this heighten even more through this Gemini new moon. And for those of you that are going through that, I don't know if you'll identify yourself while I'm saying it, but if you felt really, really angry, anxious, reactive, judgmental, feeling like you're better than other people, or, feeling like there's no more work that you need to do, or feeling like you have, told a story and that's just what it is and that's just who you are, and you're kind of hitting that ego wall. Ask yourself, how can I remove these barriers with others? How can I, see others' perspective in a new light? How have I maybe told a story about myself, my healing, my progress, my journey, my mission, or who I am that maybe isn't the real story? Maybe others are seeing something else. Are there messages, signs, messages that are trying to come through to me that I've been blocking out? The ego will resist all of those things. They're going to resist others' perspectives. It's going to resist our growth and our learning at some level. It's going to keep us stuck in competition with others. It's going to keep us stuck in old paradigms and societal norms or expectations of what maybe a spiritual person looks like. But the truth of the matter is you got to go deep. And to go deep, you've got to be able to be a bit more vulnerable. And some of you are doing a beautiful job at this, like literally getting naked with who you are, what you've been through. And by the way, some of you are going through these dark experiences right now where you're like losing your identity or feeling like maybe another dark night of the soul, even though that's not really what it is, I don't believe. But you're going through that so you can speak about it to the collective. So you'll emerge and you'll start talking about it, making videos about it, blogging about it, because it's in those lowly lows that the clarity comes, that the gifts come, that our heart opens more, that we find the direction, that we find the truth. So I hope that's helpful. Again, if you guys, like I said, I'm just very impromptu, just creating this twin flame, ascension support group call on Sunday. So that'll be Sunday, June 17th. If you guys want that information, email me. You can contact me right off the website, theilluminguru.com. If you're wanting to book a session, you can do so on the website as well. And either an intuitive guidance session for the current energies or soul coaching, which we do dig deep in those sessions. So if you're ready for that level of healing, ready to clear your blocks, that might be a good avenue as well, especially at this time. And let's just say for the divine masculine, I feel like a lot of the energies I touched upon in the June forecast are still in place. There's also this notion of, reaching a greater truth and really, really, really removing what's been out of integrity. So that means either walking away from what's been out of integrity for him or removing it altogether. There is definitely this feeling of wanting to communicate, wanting to partner, wanting to live in his truth. You're going to feel probably more heartfelt communication from the masculine over the next few weeks. Like I said, he's giving a gift. It feels like that could be the gift of his words or his heart, or making space for you in a new way. But I just definitely feel like a lot of the maybe toxic cycles or ways that he's been out of his truth are definitely coming to a close, and he's making those changes. He's taking the action. He's recognizing that it doesn't have to be rebellious. It doesn't have to be stark action. It can be guided. It can use softness, and the only person that he needs to justify it to is himself. If it makes him happy, happiness is paramount. So divine masculine, if you're watching this, follow your happiness, live in your truth, step into your truth, make no excuses is the message. And keep stepping towards, even if it's baby steps, towards that truth. Because before you know it, it's all going to just fall into place, and you're going to be able to also create a new life. There's a rebirthing going on for the masculine as well. And we're seeing a lot of masculine over the next few months finalize divorces, leave karmic partnerships, build new homes or foundations for themselves. And these are, I feel like, steps towards the masculine's beloved in some way. It steps into himself, into a greater balance between his masculine and feminine energies from within, and steps that he's making to unite with the feminine. So I will leave you with that. And I hope that that wasn't a big ramble, because it was just really off the cuff. But again, I hope you'll join us on Sunday, and I look forward to connecting with you guys. All right, thanks. Bye.